So, man, like I was saying you earlier, we're having some crazy conversation that's about to like what you've been through, what you've gone through with your addictions. And that's what the show's going to be about today, you guys, about, dealing with addictions, because those goddamn demons, man, are tough to get through, So, how are you doing with your sobriety?
I'm doing great. It was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life.
How long now? Since
148 days since I've had a drop of alcohol.
Wow. Good for
The other
you.
stuff has been years.
Yeah. So let's rewind a little bit. When did you first start dibbling in anything? Any kind of drug abuse? Anything? Anything? Your first sip of alcohol?
15.
15? Which was what?
15 is when the alcohol kind of started.
Yeah.
And then the next thing was fizz pills.
I remember the fizz pill. That wasn't my era, but I had heard about them.
Yeah, it's just a pressed pill of God knows what.
I still don't understand what it is. Yeah, I've heard it's mixed pills because I came from that 90s era of ecstasy pressed pills. And it was a fun era. Maybe it was a little cleaner back then, but it was supposed to be pure ecstasy, So I don't know the fizz. I don't know too much about that. It's a different era.
Like one time I bought, I didn't care which ones I got. I just wanted to get some.
Yeah.
So I had like 6, and me and friends took 2 each. And I got the 2 that had acid in it. And I had no idea it was acid.
Dude.
So then I started.
What was that like? I've never done acid in my life.
Neither did I until that time.
Whoa.
So I started hallucinating, and I had no idea what was going, like why. So I was looking at my friend, and her veins were like popping out of her skin, and the walls were turning like slime. It was crazy. I'll
Holy
never forget
shit.
that. Yeah, and nobody else was tripping balls. No, nobody.
Dude.
It was just me.
You're on another planet with that.
Yes.
Wow.
And then the music that we were listening to sounded really low, like woo, woo. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a trip.
I always wanted to try, but I was too chicken shit. I was scared. You know what I was scared about by doing it? I was scared that I would wake up in a jail cell and I had done something to somebody. I don't know why I had this weird thing like I was going to turn into a different person. So I was petrified of that. Because you're kind of don't have control when you're on that kind of high.
No, you completely, with acid, you completely, like, imagine you look at something and it's going to turn into whatever, you have no control over what you see.
Yeah.
Like you do, but you don't. Because if I were to, like, for instance, like shrooms, you have to be in the right state of mind to do shrooms. Otherwise, you're going to have a negative experience. And that's pretty much anything hallucinogen.
Yeah.
You have to prepare.
Even with shrooms, I've been too scared. I've done them, but I've only done like probably like a gram at a time, the most microdosed, as they call it, or less. I did it for energy, kind of get my mindset right. And I remember like when I did too much, I had too much energy. That shit's crazy. Shrooms gives you a ton of energy. People don't realize that. I would do it right before training. I'd be like, holy shit, this is nuts. It's like 3 coffees or 6 shots of espresso. Wow. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. But I started getting addicted to it a little bit, microdosing. I started kind of abusing that too. Like I'm a very extreme individual, man. Addicts, we always abuse a good thing, So let's go back to the alcohol. So when you had your first drink at 15, was it just a drink or did you go all in?
I had 11 Smirnoff Ices.
For your first time?
Yeah.
Holy shit, girl.
Yeah.
God damn. So after that, did you continue to drink on a regular basis?
Obviously, I was in high school. So after I did that, me and my friends, we made friends with an older person who, supplied us with alcohol.
Yeah.
And I think the first time we drank all together, we drank Hypnotic.
I remember Hypnotic.
It's terrible. So gross.
I bet.
What is that tequila?
Don Julio?
No.
Huh.
I can't remember, but it was a tequila. It wasn't like the low grade, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
So we drank that, the whole bottle of each, and then we had Mad Dog.
Each? Sheesh, you guys went hard.
We drank both bottles. They were empty, and then we had Mad Dog.
Wow. Now, was this like on a weekend basis?
No, it was a school night.
School night. Wow. Now, what did you think? You were just doing this for fun? Did you at all think back then at that age, like, fuck, I have a problem with this? Or you were just going through the motions of having fun?
No, that's
Yeah.
never ever crossed my mind at least as a teenager. I honestly, I didn't really care.
Yeah. I know. I never thought about like, would alcohol be a problem for me? I grew up in the 40 era. Oldie, Mickey's. Yes. I grew up in that era.
Steel Reserve.
A lot of weed, tons of weed. We smoked weed so goddamn much. I smoked so much weed in ninth grade. I barely went to class. I got kicked out of that high school and got sent to a continuation school in the 10th grade, which I enjoyed much better because it's just different. It was a smaller high school. It's where basically all the fuck ups for the city went. And boy, all the misfits were there. I started learning some gangster shit at that school. Like it was crazy. It's like something out of a movie looking back, like, holy shit, I learned to be a criminal there. A lot of kids were selling drugs, selling guns. There's a lot of shit going on.
Like a vocational school for criminals.
Yes. Yes. Dudes were getting their education, how to be a baller. Because we'd have baller dudes pull up at lunchtime with their cars and be like, yeah, I want to be like that cat. He's balling. I want that. Okay, he's pulling up, grabbing the pretty girl. I want that. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna find out how to get that car and get that money. So I started learning how to be a drug dealer there. Crazy. That's where I was getting my education. You know? So
that was crazy.
What about pills? When you start messing with pills like this in high school?
Yes. This pills was in high school. That was more of like a fun thing. It wasn't anything that I was like, oh my God, I need to have a pill. I need to have a pill right now.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely to party and have fun. I never did it just to do it, like by myself or anything like that. But when I did it, I did a lot of it and I drank with it. And yeah, I'm actually surprised I'm alive. So
I know you've done some shit. You've done what now? Talk about what you've done. The conversation we had last night. Tell them on here, the viewers, what you've done.
Where do I start?
Yeah.
Oxycontin, Roxycontin, hydrocodone liquid, fentanyl patches, cocaine, acid, shrooms, Xanax. I actually abused Ambien.
That one's deadly.
Yes.
Holy shit. Weed?
No, I smoked weed, but I didn't
care for it? You know what I think? It sounds like you're a hardcore drug user, to be told to, if I'm being honest, because the shit you done. And I think when people are like, I call them hardcore drug users, weed is like, this is weak. I don't want to be doing this. Me, weed is my fucking love. That's my love drug of all of them.
Weed was, yes, when I was a teenager, it was boring. And it just made me eat a lot. But as an adult, it makes my anxiety worse.
Yeah.
I don't like feeling, it's not like an hallucinogenic, but it can be, because like I think my heart's beating super fast, or I think, my thoughts are going wild. I just don't like it. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
Because I was addicted to downers, I was addicted to painkillers. What that does is it gets rid of all of that stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It drives people crazy, man. People underestimate the potency of weed. I had a friend, same thing. She would blow like crazy, many lines of cocaine, but when it came to weed, it made her super paranoid. And like, out of the two, the powder's worse than the green, but she just, like, I can't mess with that green. It makes me crazy. And I didn't believe it, but I understand it now. And, what made me crazy, what made me super paranoid was Xanax. That drug right there, when it got a lock on my brain, turned me into a whole different animal.
Yeah,
What did it do for you?
So the funny thing about benzos in general is back in the day, doctors even prescribed it incorrectly with the incorrect directions. So that's why there was a lot of people who got addicted to things like that, because they said, oh yeah, when you start feeling anxious, just take a pill.
Yeah.
It's not what it's intended for. What it's intended for is for panic disorders.
Yes.
So that's where that problem came, because my psych was like, yeah, just take it whenever. She gave me 100 pills of Xanax.
Really?
Yes. And said,
That
just
like
take
nothing, huh? Wow.
refills and everything. I didn't have to go back or anything. Refills. Yeah. And so I did that. And then literally like 2 times after doing it, I was already addicted. And then when you start continuously using it and abusing it, it does the opposite. So instead of making you not have a panic or, or if you take it when you're not even needing to take it, it makes you actually very irritable, aggressive, like almost like violent with your, like not physically violent, but like, how do I can't explain it.
I gotta ask Janine where my mindset was
Angry.
at. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. It was like a blur. But I do remember sleepless nights, paranoia. And like I told you last night, I go, man, I was wearing a fucking Fitbit and I thought it was just me being paranoid in my heart. I could feel my heart beating like crazy. And we went back and looked at the data and it showed 220 plus beats per minute in bed. That's dangerous. I was basically a heart attack. That's like code 3, send the ambulance. And didn't even think nothing of it. Didn't think to wake her up, like call the ambulance. Something's up with my heart. Didn't think nothing of it. I think what saved me is working out. I've always been pretty fit, worked out, trained. Had I been like an obese, overweight dude, I probably would have killed me.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even get, even me, my workout sessions now, my heart rate don't get that high. Not even close.
Mine does, but that's because I'm out of shape.
I don't think you're in the 220 range though. That's way up there.
No.
That's dangerous.
No, that's like, you need to go to the hospital.
Immediately. So how was that journey, man, when you're going through all that? Because I know it was a rough time of your life, going through all those addictions, like when you're in it.
Well, it was very lonely because I don't know if you watch a movie about drugs, right? And you see like a scene where everybody's just in a room and just getting high and all that stuff. That's pretty much what it is. It's not just the movies showing that. It's like a drug den. You're in a drug den. You're in the dark.
Yeah.
And you're doing God knows what. And then not caring about like, losing track of time. It was very lonely, even though I wasn't alone.
Were you by yourself?
No, I was with like multiple other people, but the things that we did, it was literally, we would all just be sitting on the couch, nodding off.
Just like tweakers.
And drooling.
Just tweaking. Like you see in the movies.
Yeah. Like just completely like that. It's wild. We didn't talk. We didn't especially if we were focused on the downers. Fentanyl did that to me major. I actually almost overdosed a few times on fentanyl.
How did you ingest fentanyl?
So the
pill form?
No, it was a patch.
Powder?
It was a transdermal patch that you're supposed to, like cancer patients put on their skin and it slowly gets into their bloodstream. Well, what we did is we cut little pieces off and put it on our gums. Just directly to the bloodstream.
Okay, let's rewind a little bit. How the hell did you get that first off? Or how did you get into doing fentanyl patches?
So it started with the Oxycontin, then Oxycontin got really, really, really hard to get. It was right at the moment where the feds or whatever, the pharmaceutical companies were getting on it.
That's probably when they cracked down the Sackler family. They're the responsible family who's already poisoned this country twice with other drugs, not just opioids. I know a lot about it because I read a book. They basically made those things way too strong, way too addictive.
Oh.
Addicted tons of housewives, mothers, just regular, everyday suburban people, tons. So they were under a lot of fire from the feds, and that's probably around that time where they really started to crack down.
Yeah.
The doctors were prescribing those things like candy.
Well, yeah, and it was right at that moment where it was just really hard to get, and it started getting really difficult, like maybe a few times after I did it. And it even started getting difficult to abuse it the way I wanted to abuse it because I used to smoke pills. And
you smoked them?
No, I couldn't really smoke those very well. They don't smoke very well. It's weird to say, but they don't. But what we used to do is that they had a film over the, like the slow release film, it's like a coating.
Yeah.
We used to microwave it and peel off the coating and then crush it up. And then sometimes I would snort it, sometimes just ingest it. But it got to a point where we did that and there was gel in it, and you couldn't crush it up into a powder.
They did that because they know.
Yep.
Wow.
So then my drug friend had a connection for someone who had terminal cancer, had all these, fentanyl patches, and there were 200 a pop and making money.
Jesus Christ, man. You ever get any of this shit off the black, what do they call it? Dark web?
Yes. Silk Road.
Oh, you dealt with them.
I had so much Bitcoin. It's not even funny. And now it's gone.
You could have been rich.
I know.
Probably who knows how many times over.
I had a lot of, it was right when it came popular.
I wish I would have known. I wish you would have just told me, hey, Mike, buy some Bitcoin. I believe in this. So if somebody would have just told me, I think back I did not know nothing about it.
I didn't care. I was like, we can buy this on Silk Road. And my friend at the time showed me the website, and I was like, oh my God, it's like a candy store. You could literally put it in your cart, spend a little bit of Bitcoin, and it gets delivered to your house. It's like Amazon for drugs.
Were you ever nervous?
No.
That there would be like a sting operation or undercovers coming to your house with that?
When you're focused on getting high, you don't care.
Yeah. That dude ended up getting busted and got a ton of time. They busted him actually in Glen Park, which I grew up in Noy Valley. I'm from the Mission, but I lived in Noy Valley. Glen Park was a neighborhood over. I know exactly what coffee shop they busted him at. Literally from like 10 minutes from where I lived. How funny is that?
That's crazy.
I saw the whole episode on him. Gave him like 50 years or something outrageous.
He's never getting out of.
No, it's too much. Like, come on. Okay, he did what he did, but come on, man. That's outrageous.
I mean, that's kind of huge.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you could buy freaking pure cocaine on that website.
Pretty much anything, huh?
Crazy. Yes, you search up anything, you could buy it.
I wonder if there's if anyone took over the game and there's sites like that now that you can.
There was Silk Road 2.
Oh, somebody
that
did.
got closed down.
Okay.
People try, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's just not the way it was before. The dark web isn't even the dark web anymore.
Really? I've never been on it. How the hell do you get on a dark web? What do you have to do?
Well, you have to have obviously you have to have a VPN because you don't want, you want to keep your network private.
Yeah.
And then you have to use a Tor. It's a Tor app. It's kind of like a Google Chrome, but it's encrypted. Like it pretty much allows you to get on websites.
So you don't leave like a carbon footprint of some sort.
Right.
To get on there. Okay.
Yeah, and then dark web uses .onion links. So it's like something .onion or whatever. But
interesting.
Yeah, and there's like dark web wiki. There's a bunch of stuff on there. I only dabbled in it a little bit, and then I got scared, and I was like, okay, get into this.
I never wanted to even try to open it up because I was like, I don't know, because I don't want nothing coming back on me weird, I don't know much about it.
You can click on something that you shouldn't click on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, goddamn pedos use those sites, so I don't want to be accidentally click on some shit that has kids or some crazy shit. Like, no, I don't want, what I'm saying? Like, no accidents. So I was like, no, sir, I'm not even messing with it.
Yep.
I don't know enough about it. I'm not going to mess around. There's no need for me to get on it, but I've always been curious about it, what it's like.
It's, it's like a black market kind of thing, with people selling people's credit card numbers and social security numbers.
Shit.
There's people that are selling themselves as a hitman, but those are usually cops.
Yeah.
The cops are all over that, but it's hard for them to catch them because of how private it is. Because people encrypt their location and all that stuff, but they're all over.
Damn, so you could find anything with anything that has to do with criminal, illegal activity on there.
Like, when your data gets stolen.
Yes.
Like, oh, your email got, leaked or whatever.
That's where it goes.
That's going to the dark web and it's going to get sold. If they see something that they're like, oh, this is a good one, they're going to sell it.
Holy shit. That's good, man. That's good for the viewers that listen to it, because they're probably like, man, I never knew about this either. This is all new to me. I've never heard this stuff. I never really delved into it. I never looked it up myself because I don't want to Google about it and start like, wait a minute, why is this guy asking about the dark web and I'm leaving a carbon footprint?
Oh,
They
but
might look at me like, what's he trying to do?
my Google searches are questionable because I get curious, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like, oh, but true crime. I look up true crime all the time. I look up different videos about the dark web and people searching the dark web and weird things about
Yeah. You go down a rabbit hole, huh?
yeah, major.
So, what's it like now? What's your, how do you feel now? How do you feel these days? Because you done a lot of shit. Like you said, you're lucky to be alive.
Yeah, yes. I have to say, I'm always going to be an addict. I can't be around
I feel you on that one.
painkillers. Can't be around painkillers.
Like it can't be in your face. Like if I
No.
put some out right here in
I'll
front of you,
take it.
that like if I put some Xanax right there in front of you,
Xanax is not as bad as painkillers.
Oh.
Painkillers, you give me a Vicodin, I'll take 10. Yeah.
oh, so you dabbled in Vicodins too?
Vicodin, anything that I
I've
can
done
get my hands
Vicodins,
on.
but Vicodins were like legit for my surgery. I had surgery in my leg. I've had surgery in my hand, dislocated shoulder. So I've done it for like real reasons, but I didn't even like it. I got off of them because I felt like myself going down a dark hole with them. And somehow told me like, nah, I'm gonna get off them. I ended up just getting rid of my pill bottle. I was like, fuck this. I'd rather just smoke weed for the pain.
Smart.
Yeah. Something just told me. I seen a guy real bad, a coworker of mine. And this is before like anybody knew about like how addictive like pain pills were. As a coworker of mine got injured at work. They put him on Vicodin and he just fell out hard. And we're like, what the fuck's up with homeboy? What happened to homeboy? And like, he's doing real bad, bro. He's hooked on Vikes. I go, what? How's that? I've done Vicodins for my shoulder. They're not that everybody's mind is different. I thought it was like, no way. Vicodin? I didn't understand it. Remember, I was like, I didn't believe it. Like, no, it's got to be more than that, man. But the dude got hooked real bad. Because you don't know, none of us know, unless you know, like you know who your parents are. So you know that demon's inside you. I didn't think that shit was inside of me. I've always played sports. I've always worked out. I've always been mentally strong. But looking back at my childhood and things I've gone through, I'm like, I have gone through my mental hurdles, but I never thought nothing of it. And I never thought of like my raging alcoholic grandfather that I'd have his curse inside of me. And fuck yeah, I do. And my mother would try to keep me away from drinking. And for that very reason, she didn't want me to become him. She was right. Looking back, like, oh shit, she knew. Like mothers know best.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. But I mean, overall, I feel great that I cut off alcohol because that was the only thing that still stuck with me for a long time.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a problem. I just didn't care to address it yet. And
Alcohol's a tough one, man, because alcohol is used for social settings. Everybody uses alcohol. Let's just naturally. So today, I'm talking to a friend of mine. He's hanging out with his boy. And his boys, whatever. And his boy's like, I got you a drink. And he's like, I don't drink anymore. He's like, oh, come on, man, let's have a drink. Because, dude, I told you, I don't drink anymore. Like that alcohol is so fucking, people peer pressure you to drink it so goddamn much. And then they get bothered when you don't drink it with them. It's like, I don't fucking drink anymore. And what pisses me off, and it should piss you off, is like, do you know, man, if I drank that drink, you're going to send me down a deep, dark hole? Like, do you know I'm an addict? You know I'm a recovering addict? Like, how do you fucking know someone's not going through sobriety and you're pushing that shit in their face? I like to smack them upside the head, some of these people, because it's like, bro, like, you don't know what this can do to some people. I know some people who are like yourself who can't even have a drink. It'll ruin them. It'll destroy their life. They'll go back to their old behavior. Guess what? When they drink that drink, they're probably going to go back to doing cocaine and all this other crazy shit. So, but these fucking morons don't think about that.
no, because they don't. Well, I mean, really, they have a problem too.
Yeah, of course.
But it's crazy to think that it's weird when someone doesn't drink. Because I used to think that way. Like, oh, why aren't you having a drink with me? You're boring. And
That's usually what people say right there.
yeah, and I get it now. Like, and it's actually a good thing because I want people to show their true colors. Because if you're going to try to peer pressure me to have a drink, then I know who you are.
Yes. And they supposedly, allegedly love you.
Yeah, that definitely shows that they don't, because if they did,
They would support your sobriety. But it's funny, is I was telling your aunt this, Janine, saying, oh yeah, they say they love you. and they got your back and this, and that. But they love you even more when you're in the grave. All of a sudden they care. Oh, Michelle, she was such a good girl. And that was my homie, my ride or die girl. But you didn't give a fuck about her when she was alive. You didn't tell her to do better. You didn't try to help her out. You didn't try to console her. You pushed her there. And people need to get fucking checked for that. Like, stop pushing people faster to their grave. Because that's what I feel like what I see in this era is people are in a hurry to die, no longer to live. Everybody's in a rush. They're eating bad, overweight. They're not getting no exercise, not getting no sunlight. They're obese. Type 2 diabetics diabetes on the rise. Cancer's on the rise. They still don't care, though. They're doing all that, to themselves. It's like, well, if you're doing that to you, big dog, I don't want to do that to me. You do you. It's almost the same thing with the food police. Like, if you're on a journey of eating better, personal development, and you're like, oh, I'm good. I already ate. I don't need that. They want to push food in your mouth too. In our industry, we see that. It's fucking funny.
Yeah, and it's cultural too for a lot of people. Like my boyfriend's parents, they're Armenian.
Yeah.
So if you don't eat a lot, they get insulted.
Huh.
It's interesting, I know.
It is.
That also makes it hard.
I don't get that. It's like, so I should become fat, is what you're telling me. I should gain weight. You'll be happy then? You'll be happy when my blood pressure rises? You'll be happy maybe have a heart attack in the future from weight gain or a stroke, which I've had a stroke, so I could talk my shit. So you'll be happy when that?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do now to combat all your addictions? Like, so you keep the demon aware at bay. That demon's never gonna go away. It's gonna be in you. But what do you do now? How do you deal with it now?
Right now, I like puzzles. I focus on puzzles. I don't really go anywhere when I'm at home. I'm a homebody. I don't like going anywhere.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't need to be around people I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I play video games. I play mobile games. I just keep myself busy with stuff that I really love. Puzzles and video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Keep your mind occupied. Because a lot of times people go back to their behaviors when they're bored.
See, that's what I was worried about. But when I've gotten bored, I've been bored many of times. And what I do is I get annoyed and then I go to sleep.
Really?
Yeah, because it's usually at night.
So none of the cravings come back?
No.
So what if I put a drink right there? Would you have a craving?
No.
for it?
Ugh, no.
No? Mm-mm. It's not like that for you then? Me neither. Never has been.
No, because I'm in a good place mentally.
Yeah.
And that's what I used it for, is because I was not in a good place mentally. Because it's funny how this works, obviously, is my medication. I'm on multiple medications.
What are you on right now?
I am on Prozac, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, iron, because I'm iron deficient,
Okay.
Adderall, and vitamin D3, because I'm also vitamin D deficient. But those are vitamins. And I take all of those, and when you drink, it doesn't work right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work how it's supposed to work. So when I stopped drinking, at first I thought I was going to go crazy. I was like, this is not going to work. Yeah, I can't do it. I was losing sleep. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't I even had the addiction, the craving of wanting to do pain pills for a second there.
Oh, shit.
It came back with a vengeance for a second. I was a little worried.
Fuck.
So I kept to myself.
Yeah.
And I tried, I did puzzles. I tried my best to just keep my mind off of it. And then one day I woke up and I was like, wow,
You battle some adversity.
I feel great.
Yeah. So what do you do so you don't abuse those pills? Because some of them are addictive, like Adderall, Prozac.
I honestly, I don't understand the Adderall craze.
People love Adderall.
Adderall makes
Trust
me tired sometimes. Yeah, it does not.
I've been curious to try Adderall. I'm not going to do it, but I have been curious to see what the buzz is, because I heard it gives you a ton of energy. Nah.
No, I mean, if you don't need it, if your brain doesn't need that stimulant, then yeah, sure, obviously. But for like me, sometimes it just makes me normal. Because when I'm When I don't take something like that to help me, I'm in la la land. My brain is all over the place. I can't focus. I lose, like I go into like I like space out. It's interesting. And then when I take it, oh, I'm a normal human. And then sometimes it just makes me want to go to sleep.
You sound like my nephew. Poor kid, man. He got ADHD bad. He's on Ritalin though. I don't think he's on Adderall. You heard of Ritalin, right?
Yeah, that was the one I was going to try next if the Adderall wasn't going to work
Yeah.
correctly. But I tried a few, and they have extended release, and my body burns it too fast, so I had to do instant release.
Oh, interesting. Well, how do you? What advice or tips would you give people going through addiction, like how to deal with it, like, or former addicts, so they don't go back to old behavior? What tips or advice would you give them? I know you're not a doctor, but what do you think?
I'd like to, because this is what I've thought before, and this is actually what I've been thinking lately since I stopped alcohol. Nobody's perfect. You will have weak moments, but don't let that completely take you off of the wagon. You're going to have a weak moment. Yes, it happens. You're not a perfect human. You're an addict. You're always going to be an addict. Just get right back on the wagon and don't let that bring you down, and don't beat yourself up, because you'll never get out of the hole, ever.
Yeah. I know it never goes away. Mm-hmm. I'm coming up on a year, Halloween, actually, in 2 days, right? It's Halloween. Mm-hmm. I'm coming up on the 1 year sobriety from weed.
Nice.
And let me tell you, people underestimate weed. They think it's just a plant. It's harmless. It's God's gift. Well, check this out, homie. Cocaine is a plant. Starts as a cocoa leaf. Mm-hmm. Heroin, the poppy seed. You know what I'm saying? Everything starts from a plant. All your medicines. Mm-hmm. It took me a good about 4 weeks to come out of the withdrawals. Night sweats, bad. When I say bad, that bed was wet every fucking night. I didn't think it was gonna be that hard. I underestimated it. It took me about almost a good 2 months to really come out of it. And hindsight's 2020. And now looking back, like, shit, I was manic, moody, pissed off, just not in a good place. This is just weed. This isn't even nothing crazy. Weed's supposed to be the lesser of all the evils. Fuck no. And today's weed, let me tell you something. Take it from a guy, 49 years old, who's been smoking since a teenager. I've been around the game a long time. From when weed was normal back then, today's weed, it's a whole different level of potency and addiction and chemicals, and I don't know what it is. The THC levels are way higher.
Man, you got to be careful. It's a lot of it's laced with bunk fentanyl now.
I've heard that too. I've heard that. I mean, lucky for me, I know some people in the industry, so I go through the legal route of getting it. I don't go to the black market, but there is a lot of just weed, spray with a lot of pesticides and junk, and that's not good for the mindset. It's not good for the mentals. And people, you suffer from mental health?
Yeah, very bad.
Me too. You know my story. The night before, actually, we'll talk about it a little bit right here, is Michelle. I was supposed to go to her birthday, you guys, for her birthday. The day of her birthday is the day that I try to exit this earth. I checked out. And the night before that, I was asking her a million questions about Xanax. Remember I was picking your brain?
Yeah.
I don't know if I asked you about if you had suicidal thoughts or not.
You did.
Did you have suicidal thoughts on Xanax?
Yes.
You did too?
Yes. Yeah, because it made me feel empty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's crazy that freak. I never had those thoughts ever in my life. That fucking drug made me have hella suicidal thoughts. Mm-hmm. I couldn't put my fucking finger on it. I thought crazy shit. I thought about jumping in front of the VTA. I thought about fucking just jumping in front on the freeway, just exiting, just jump in the middle of the road in front of a truck. Crazy shit.
Yeah.
Things I never thought about until I try to go through it on the day of your birthday. Lucky I survived, but man, you guys don't fuck around with pills, man. If you're struggling with addiction, seek help immediately because you don't want to go down that road I went down. Because I'm lucky to be here. What I did to myself, I should be dead. I believe I swallowed over 100 plus pills, a syringe of Drano in my vein, and a bottle of tequila. I did the trifecta. I lived. I know.
You
I went through with it.
tried. Hey,
I went through with it. I'm not let me tell you, there's two different types of people. The people that cry for attention, that say they want to do it, they're not gonna. It's the dangerous ones that don't talk about it. We go through with it. I try to go through with it. That's how down bad I was, man. And looking back, like, I can't believe I let myself get like that.
No,
Because
yeah.
you see, people see me now, like I'm physically fit, strong, mentally I'm all there. But I know, I would say very important. Do not overlook your mental health, man. This is all we got. Physical is a bonus. I would say it's all here. The strength lies in here.
Yeah. And, be kind to others as well, because you can never judge a book by its cover.
No,
And be kind to yourself.
that's it.
I mean,
I don't even look down. I don't even look down on people who are on the streets who are addicts, because I'm like, I could have ended up like them. A lot of us, too many, think like our shit don't stink. We're on our soapbox and I'm better than them. No, you're not. You're one drink or one pill away from being like that. That's all it takes. Those people had family at one point. They had a roof over their head. Something happened, and they took a turn for the worse.
yeah, I mean, I got lucky. I got out of it myself pretty unscathed, but I don't know why. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. But I could tell you right now that if I were to start again, I'm done.
This time around?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd be just
You're going off the deep end.
Yeah, off the deep end. I'm never getting out. Yeah.
Yeah, I would never. Lucky for me, I have no temptations. Xanax didn't have like a physical craving at all. Like if you put it in front of me, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But if I started doing it again, I'd probably be done for sure. I won't miss twice, so I won't do it. I ain't stupid. I don't want to do nothing no more. So how about today? How do you feel today? How's your mental health? How's your mental clarity?
I feel great. My medication is working as it should be. I don't feel like my sides and kidneys are screaming for help. I feel like my skin and my face and my everything just looks better.
Yeah.
And I can think clearer.
You updated your Facebook profile picture.
Yes.
I told Janine, I go, dude, look at your niece. Holy shit. She doesn't look the same no more. You look puffy, way older, miserable. I'm just being honest compared to what you look like now. I go, holy shit. You regained some youth back.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And I go to bed at 6 p.m. It's way past my bedtime right now. Before I was, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I just felt bloated and miserable and tired and sick. Like I just felt terrible because I'm taking all these pills too. So you got to imagine what it's doing to my organs.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Overall, I feel great. It's the best thing I've ever done. I don't crave alcohol, not one bit, thankfully, because I did not use it I use it for a different reason rather than functioning on it.
Yes.
So that's probably a saving grace for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause that's a tough one. Alcohol. That one itself, people have a rough time giving that one up.
Mm-hmm. Because it's socially.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's every store you walk in, it's there. It's just socially everywhere. You just go to a restaurant and eat with your family. Would you like a drink? With their drink menu, they're in your face. Like, nah, get out of my face. I don't drink.
Yeah. And when I did a lot of reading too. And when you really think about it, everybody is somewhat dependent on alcohol because they need it to have fun.
Yes.
Or they need it. Oh, you're going to go to dinner, or I'm going to go out with a friend and have a drink. Like,
see?
Why can't you go to the library?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Reading helped me a lot get over all my mental health issues after I came out of everything, came out of the nut house, getting my brain rewired. I didn't even watch TV for like a good month or two, just start reading books, just to get my mind right. And try to take in positive stuff, nothing negative.
Yeah. Yeah. It's key because you can even go down a deep path when you're completely sober. If you have the mental capacity to do that, which you do and which I do.
Yeah.
And it's easy to fall down in there too.
Yes, it is. So, well, this was a good little episode, man. It's good that people hear your story and to know that there's hope, man. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You came out of a dark tunnel. I came out of a dark tunnel. So don't give up. You guys keep fighting. We only got one life. So fight for it.
Yep.
That being said, we out.